What is going on, guys? Gamers Goon here today, and today we have a very interesting topic. Logan Paul and the WWE, more specifically, Wrestlemania. Now, earlier today, I saw something on Twitter that suggests, from the Wrestler Observer, that Logan Paul could, and from what it looks like, he probably will, be involved at WrestleMania 37 with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, I tweeted this a little bit earlier. I was hesitant to, but I said, watch there be a tag team match between Logan Paul, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and whoever. As you know, this upcoming week on SmackDown, we are getting Logan Paul and Sami Zayn, the red carpet reveal of the documentary, whatever Sami Zayn's been filming, whatever that whole shenanigan crap is. But I'm here to tell you today why that is a poor idea on WWE's behalf. Now, it's WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania. We are less than 2 weeks, about 2 weeks actually, away from not the biggest show of them all, but what they like to call the granddaddy of them all. The top show. There's no better show than WrestleMania. If you are a WWE fan, if you are a WWE employee, if you are Vincent Kennedy McMahon, it doesn't matter who you are. The show that everybody knows about wrestling, and the biggest show about wrestling that there ever is every year, is WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year. It's the biggest show of the year. And this year it's going to be held in Florida. And it should be an interesting show. But that doesn't mean that you need to go out of your way and get Logan Paul on the show. Now, we already have Bad Bunny. I know it's a stupid idea anyways that we even have Bad Bunny on WrestleMania. But we already have a celebrity in Bad Bunny, not a professional wrestler, a celebrity taking away a spot from a guy like a Ricochet. A guy that's there every day, there in the training center, there in the performance center, whatever you want to call it. He's there putting in the work. You're taking it away from matches that are much more meaningful. Nobody wants to see Bad Bunny in a match already. If you want to see him, I don't know why. It's one of two things. It is either going to be pointless because he gets embarrassed, or he loses, and it discredits everybody. Discredits everybody. How are you going to lose to Bad Bunny and then beat other people? That makes no sense. It's the same thing with Logan Paul. That's the same exact thing with Logan Paul. Now, I don't know if he's going to be in a match or if it's just going to play as a part in the match, because what I read is he's going to be involved. That means that could be many different things. That doesn't mean he's going to be in a match, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of Logan Paul being in a match with Sami Zayn possibly. And I pray to the Lord that does not happen. I don't care what professional fighting background Logan Paul has with his fights with KSI. I don't care. He didn't even beat KSI. What makes you think he can come into the WWE and beat anyone? Amateurs don't mix well. Especially, the only thing that he has going for him is a fan base. And I know that's exactly why Vince wants him. Vince wants him so that he can draw some eyes to the product, because you know what? It's the biggest show of the year, and if we get some of the Logan Paul fans, I think they call themselves the Low Gang, or maybe they're the Paulers. There's two of them. I don't know which one's which. I think the Low Gang is his. It's been years since I've watched those guys, and I wouldn't even watch them if I were you guys. I don't even. Those guys are a different breed, man. They are something else. But either way, I don't care. I don't care if they're bringing eyes to the product, because I'm going to break this to you. And it might be a tough pill to swallow, Vince, but the fans that come with Bad Bunny, the fans that come with Logan Paul, they're not going to stay around. I know you think that all eyes are good eyes. Sure, you're going to get a high viewership at WrestleMania. Maybe on Peacock. You can credit that as Peacock had the most watched WrestleMania. Maybe you can do that. Maybe. But how many of those people are going to be there for Monday night after? How many of those people are going to be there for SmackDown? How many people are going to go to NXT? How long are these guys going to stay around? Because I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to give a damn about Sami Zayn. They're not going to give a damn about watching Roman Reigns in a main event with Daniel Bryan and Edge. They're not going to give a damn about anybody in that show outside of Logan Paul. And that's the same thing with Bad Bunny. They're not going to give a damn. Why would you? Why would you? If I'm going out of my way to watch. Now, I've done this before. I've done it with Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground is not necessarily my cup of tea. I don't watch Lucha Underground very often. I don't watch any of these. But when there's a name that I recognize that is on a card, I'll go out of my way and watch it. That doesn't mean I'm going to sit around and watch it every week. I'm not going to watch it every week. Well, what was the one show? Triple Mania. We had Kenny Omega on the show. I went out of my way. You still know what? I'm going to watch it. Have I watched any of their stuff on their weekly television? I'm not going to lie to you. No, I haven't. But when you get somebody... Now, it's worked for Impact. It's worked for Impact with Kenny Omega. It's worked for them. But it's not going to work when it is literally a 2-week deal. Literally a 2-week deal. We are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. That is all we get with this Logan Paul build. He is going to be at WrestleMania. I guarantee you he will be at WrestleMania. And I don't know how he is going to impact the match or whatever. But he is going to be at WrestleMania. Taking away a spot from one of the guys that have been there all year long. He's going to be there. And Logan Paul, I'm telling you right now, his fan base, it's not staying with you, Vince. So, not only are you pushing away others that could be on this card, and it's a 2-night WrestleMania, so you can put a lot more matches on the card if you really wanted to. I beg you, please don't make each night 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever the ridiculously long Manias have been in the past. Please keep it at 3 hours max. Please. But that has nothing to do with Logan Paul. You could fit people on this card without Logan Paul on there. If you have Logan Paul in there, it's taken away from somebody that deserves. I know that the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match is already booked. But what does that say to the guys that aren't getting television time? What does that say to some people in the back that have been busting their ass week in and week out just trying to even get on Monday Night Raw? What does that say to them when you say, you know what? We're not even giving you a Mania spot, but we're going to give this Joe named Logan Paul a Mania spot before we give you one. And let's remember, he's never wrestled in the WWE before. He isn't in long-term plans for the WWE, and he's only been there for 2 weeks. What's that say? What does that say to you? Now, I could understand if maybe you signed, let's say for some reason they signed a free agent, such as maybe they brought in Eric Young back. I know he's not a free agent, but let's just throw a name out there. I would understand if he came back 2 weeks to Mania. Yes, he is a wrestler. Now, he hasn't been there as long as everybody else, but you're investing something into him. It wouldn't be that bad if you had a wrestler come and do it. The reason it's becoming an issue is because Jake Paul, or Logan Paul, whichever one, Logan Paul is not a wrestler. He is not. I don't care how many times he gets on some boxing gloves and punches KSI. I don't care. He is not a wrestler. So stay away from the WWE. That's simple. And Vince, I know Vince loves the idea of these people getting their eyes on the show, Vince. But the thing that Vince doesn't realize is when he's getting these new eyes on the show, he's also driving away their hardcore fan base. I am in multiple group chats on Twitter where we all feel the same. Where WrestleMania this year doesn't feel like WrestleMania. It doesn't. And we're hardcore guys. We love wrestling. We love it. Hell, I went out of my way and spent thousands of dollars to go to WrestleMania, to go to Access. I support them. And at the end of the day, there's only a few matches on the card that we even give a shit about. And you're thinking about putting Logan Paul on this show before making even a credible storyline for the matches that are already on the show. You're just piecing it together. You're just piecing it together. You have no storylines. You barely have storylines. And you're worried about getting Logan Paul on WrestleMania. You wonder why the ratings are going down, because you're driving away your hardcore fan base. Who wants to see Logan Paul when you are a diehard wrestling fan, the one that has been there throughout the entirety of this shit show? Before the brand split, all that shit. Since who knows how long. For me, since 2007. Who wants to be there for going on 14 years, and you go from seeing this great stuff that was going on with Cena and Punk. You go from seeing the Shield days. You go from seeing all of that. Then you get the brand split. The shows are going bad, but SmackDown is killing it. And then this? It's the same show each and every Monday, each and every SmackDown. It does not matter. They don't care anymore. All they want to do is make their money and go along. That is exactly what they're doing with Logan Paul. I guarantee you, Logan Paul, after the show with Sami Zayn, he is going to have merchandise on the WWE shop. They're going to make a quick buck at him. They're going to praise him. Oh my God, he was the #1 top seller for the week. I don't give a damn about your money. I don't. We know you're going to make money. Everybody knows you're going to make money. You can make money with or without Logan Paul. And I guarantee you it is not that big of a difference. If you went out of your way and you put as much effort into getting someone over as you do with the celebrities, and don't sit here and say, well, the celebrities already have a made name. Yeah, they have a made name because WWE refuses to make names out of their own characters. There's no reason why you should have guys like Bray Wyatt, who is the Fiend. There is no reason he can't be a superstar on a much higher level than just wrestling. There is no reason. But they never, and don't you sit there and say he did, because they fucked it up at Hell in a Cell, and it was never the same again. They never put the effort in with Bray Wyatt that they do with these celebrities. And that goes along for a lot more people than just Bray Wyatt. They don't care. The only celebrity that I actually enjoyed as a wrestler, and I mean a wrestler, was Ronda Rousey, because she committed and she said, you know what, I'm going to actually do this. She did it for a year. She did it. She main evented WrestleMania. She deserved it. She earned it. But she was committed. Logan Paul, he's not gonna be in the long-term plans. Bad Bunny, he ain't gonna do much. He's bringing in some audience. He's getting some sales of merchandise. You're telling me that like if I give a damn. That doesn't help the quality of your show. That actually devalues the quality of your show, because you have non-wrestlers in there with wrestlers that were trained, that have spent years working on their craft. And you don't give a damn. You don't. So you want to know why everybody has an issue, or at least there's a group of people, because I do know the WWE apologists will sit there and they'll act like it's all good and all fine because that's all they ever do. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm not here to do any of that. I am telling you right now, Logan Paul should not, and hopefully will not, make it onto the WrestleMania final card. I don't care if it is in a distraction. I don't care if it is in an actual match, a tag team match. I don't give a damn how the fuck you keep him off the show. Keep him off the show. Keep him off the show. That's simple. Keep him off the show. I don't even think he should be on SmackDown, yet alone WrestleMania. Keep him off the goddamn show. That's simple. I'm going to get on out of here. Going to go shop. Had to let you guys know. Had to let you guys know my opinion here on the Jake Paul situation and WrestleMania. It's not something that I'm looking forward to, man. It's just not.